All right, so let me just start off this video by saying I am pretty nervous to do this video and to express what I'm gonna express in this video, which is pretty much just my story and my purpose, my mission, and why I am doing this and creating a YouTube channel. So in this video, I'm gonna be looking down a little bit. I made a bit of an outline for it, and that's just so I can look at my notes because I get sidetracked and I have ADHD. My brain just goes off in separate directions. So let me just start off by saying I grew up in a rural town in New Hampshire, and I'm currently there. I grew up in a household with my dad, my mom, and my brother. And my brother was born when I was 5 3/4 years old. So I was pretty much, I felt like an only child most of my life. I've been pretty much a lone wolf a lot of my life. So I understand what it feels like to, I guess, be alone. And I used to go out into the woods and take walks. That's why I like hiking and getting out to nature. So I was raised in a household where my dad was, and still is, I presume, an alcoholic, and he was very, very emotionally and psychologically abusive to me, my mom, and my younger brother, and sometimes physically abusive. I don't want to get into it, but basically that really conditioned my mind and really mentally messed me up. But I have done so much emotional healing for myself. I don't want to get into that because this would take, I feel like it would take from the video. If you'd like, I can make a separate video talking about my story on that. But I also grew up with my mom, who is a very loving and compassionate and honest woman, and still is. She's alive. She divorced my dad after she saw one certain incident that she saw him treating me. We were on a camping vacation, and I went to get something out of the truck, and I locked the keys in his truck, and for whatever reason he blew up at me, and he screamed and yelled and swore at me for just locking keys in the truck. I get it made a dent in the day, but it just wasn't, I guess, called for. And the way she saw him treating me that moment, she said, changed her staying with him. And so that incident really made her rethink her marriage, and she decided to move away from my dad into the current home we're in. A little bit into my entrepreneurship journey. The first thing I did, actually, which I didn't mention before, was I used to, when I was like 8 years old, I saw these daisies, these wild daisies that were growing in our yard. And I potted them when I was like 8 years old and tried to sell them on our driveway and to the people driving past, and I did not sell a single one. That was kind of depressing, but entrepreneurial spirit was still alive. Once we moved out and came to the home we're in now, I tried to sell lemonade, and that kind of worked. I sold it for 25 cents for like a cup this big, and my homeroom teacher, who I didn't even know would be my homeroom teacher, going into 6th grade, pulled up, and she was driving, and she pulled off to the side of the road and bought a couple cups of lemonade and tipped me a $10 bill. And so that $10 bill was the first money I've ever made from entrepreneurship, but it was a loss anyway because the lemonade that I bought was like 20 bucks or something. So it still didn't end up, I didn't even break even for that business. But it was a good look into like what could happen. Then later that year, for the science fair, and this is not really entrepreneurship, but I decided to create a water filter for people because I knew there was a dirty water crisis in the world, which leads me to like saying the reason I decided to add this in and make this video was because that's part of my purpose, and that's why I'm here. I'll just say my why right now is to help people and create equal opportunities for all humankind. That is my why. And so I think that is the reason why I started to think about these things. And the reason why I bring that up is because I saw an ad today for charity water. I remembered, oh wow, I tried to help people with this before. So anyways, I'm gonna throw a link for charity water. This is not obviously sponsored, it's a charity. I'm just saying, if you'd like, you can help donate, because I believe in the cause, and I believe in, I don't even honestly know the guy who runs it, but his story in that ad really was inspiring to me. And 100% of their the donations that you donate go directly to the water. After that, getting out of 8th grade, I had a summer job at Market Basket. I did a side hustle of shoveling for someone, and that was my first like true entrepreneurship relationship, I guess, because I had a few neighbors that I would just shovel their driveway every time it snowed, and so that was really cool to be making money not from a like company, you know what I mean, that was paying everyone by the hour. I made it myself, which was really cool. And then there was one book at the end of my junior year, middle to end of junior year, that I found off a YouTube ad, which, like, come to think of it, it was the best thing the universe ever like placed in my realm, if that makes sense. But it was this book, Millionaire Success Habits. I highly recommend you read it. But for whatever reason, this was my first book into personal growth and development. And it really taught me to think from an abundance mindset. It taught me to not like hate money. It taught me to hang out with people who are more positive and to keep a positive mindset and internal locus of control, so that like different events and stuff don't ruin your day. You get to decide how your day goes, if that makes sense. Pretty sure that book, Millionaire Success Habits, ended up allowing me to think more about money, and it taught me that money is not a bad thing. Money is an awesome thing, because you can influence things and you can help people with money. You can donate to charities, you can build nonprofit organizations, you can employ people with your companies, whatever. And so that really got me thinking about how much influence I could have on someone and someone's life, to change someone's life for the better. So I started getting into the stock market at 17, and I started trading, and I had no idea what I was doing, and I'm pretty sure I lost a couple $100, but whatever. And then after that, I got into an MLM marketing for selling CBD. That was also a massive failure, but the point is, I was like 17 and in high school, and I was still trying, so that was cool. And then I had a breakthrough. Okay, at the end of junior year, I decided to really focus on my passions, and I decided to quit my job at Market Basket. At this point, I started at 14, I was 17, so I'd been there 3 years, all right, for a part-time job all the way through high school, and I decided to quit. And that act of quitting allowed me to understand that there's, you know, an internal locus of control, because I hated that job. I hated it. And I used to like think about it in such a negative way, but like it was my choice to stay at the job, you know? It just felt like it was the only job I could have, which was a scarcity mindset versus abundance. So anyways, the book helped me create massive breakthroughs, and I quit my job and I worked at a local restaurant in my area. Because I love to cook, and I've always loved to cook, and I learned a lot about cooking, and I learned a lot about the restaurant industry. And at the end of that year, I had another breakthrough. For whatever reason, I was part of my school soccer team, and before practice we were listening to music, jamming out, and I just decided to jump on my car and start dancing. And as small as that action was, I had people like cheering me on and being like, yeah, woo, 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 and like, woo, woo, let's get it. Like before that, I would be so scared of what people thought of me and whatever. And then in that moment, I was like, I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks about me right now. And so I just jumped on my car and started dancing. I didn't care what people thought, and people, like, I don't know, for whatever reason, like, my team was like, get it, Aaron, like, that's cool. And like, that changed the way I thought about other people thinking about me. That was a massive breakthrough. From there, I decided to follow my passion of cooking, and I decided to change my whole senior year up, my senior schedule, to be part of a cooking class. And so I had to rearrange my whole schedule for that. But it was so worth it, and I loved cooking in the classroom and learning different skills and stuff like that. So that was massively important. I also got into art and reading, and I also got into my mentorship with my current mentor, actually, right now. And she helped me learn about meditation and how to take control of my mind and my emotions and stuff like that. And part of like the Millionaire Success Habits book told me to grow and expand my mind and always be learning and watch who I hang out with. So actually, halfway through my senior year, I ended up having to break up with my girlfriend of 2 years, who was my high school sweetheart. And that was really, really rough because I was a certain person going into it, and then I was growing and expanding and becoming a different person, like, at that point, and I needed to break through and grow out of that relationship, unfortunately. But it was fortunate for me because I had so much self-growth after that, because I based a lot of my identity around her and like the relationship we had. And then once I was my own person and was a single, like, individual, I was able to learn about my own passions and interests, and I learned that I liked art, I liked music, I knew I liked cooking, and like going on hikes and walks and connecting with nature, and that I loved animals. Just all these certain things that, like, I hadn't really explored before. And that's one thing that I think you should start doing. I really implore you to really just try new things. Just literally try any new thing that you might think you like and give it a shot. And if you don't like it, cool, whatever, at least you tried. But if you do, like, can you imagine if you hadn't tried that before? Anyways, so that's just a little side thing, but that's really important. Just try new things. See what you like and go with it. After I broke up with my girlfriend, that allowed space for my love of YouTube. And in school, I had always liked the projects for like tech projects in our like technology classes of filming and editing different things in graphic design that we would do for like thumbnails for YouTube that I do now, for Photoshop. I loved learning about that, and it just fueled my interest for YouTube, and I made a cooking channel. It's called Good Food for You. I don't post anything anymore, but it allowed me to be more comfortable in front of the camera, and it allowed me to understand different lighting and different aspects of like angles and stuff like that for YouTube. So after that, I decided I didn't want to be a YouTuber. I didn't want to do cooking, and I got into this affiliate marketing program with Wesley Virgin, which is, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I don't like endorse that anymore. Long story short, it was an awful business model. I hated it. I got some good stuff out of it, but overall it was not a good thing to get into. But the thing is, that led me to creating this YouTube channel, because originally I wanted to sell affiliate links through this YouTube channel, and but I didn't really have a purpose other than that behind this. But now I have more of a purpose. I already mentioned it's my why. It's to create equal opportunities for all of humankind, to educate you on how to expand your mind, expand your different well-being, and expand your like knowledge and stuff like that. So I am hoping to give you value and provide different opportunities of knowledge for you, and take the knowledge I learned from books and stuff like that and condense them into videos that you can understand way better than taking the time and reading a book. So that's one thing I want to help with. I want to help with your mindset. I want to help you understand your purpose better, and that I feel like that will create equal opportunities for everyone, because you will understand better how much your impact can help other people. And the reason I'm making this video is yesterday was a big breakthrough for me, because I have a very addictive personality. That's why I've always stayed away from alcohol, because my dad's an alcoholic. I used to be addicted to vaping, and I had been addicted to smoking marijuana as well. And so yesterday I just got rid of all of that and decided to stop smoking marijuana. And so now the only addiction I have is caffeine, and that is eventually I do want to kick that addiction, but it's not as like detrimental as vaping or smoking or anything like that. And yesterday I also took action on Unleash the Power Within, Tony Robbins' live event, which I'm going to be doing the 19th through the 22nd. So I'll keep you guys updated on that in like the week after next week, I think, and I'll make a YouTube video on that, outlining my experience and hopefully sharing some breakthroughs with that. But now what I want to do is I want to build my own brand. I want to build my own message and mission. I want to fulfill my purpose and my why. I wanted to end this video off by saying that we only have one shot at life. All right, so make the most of it. I feel like it's hard to find your own why a lot of times, but you just sort of have to surrender and allow your passions and interests to allow your why to find you. You don't really go searching for it, if that makes sense. But anyways, I want to end this video off by saying stay positive, stay motivated, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.